Alright guys, and welcome to the 61st episode of Below the Bar.
In this episode, expect to find out why the presence of fake online coaches is on the rise, what event finally cancelled CrossFit,
And how you can maximise your mornings for optimal fulfilment.
Let's get into it.
What's happening, people? Before we get on with today's episode, I just want to remind you to get involved with the podcast. In much the same way that Harry couldn't survive without Tinder, this podcast couldn't survive without you. With that in mind, remember to send us your questions and segment suggestions, or failing that, just any generic funny shit you think is worthy of some podcast airtime. Email into thebrummybrotherspodcast@gmail.com. Link is in the description. And don't worry, we'll keep everything completely anonymous unless you're fame hungry like me and you want the attention. Hello and welcome back to what I've just discovered is going to be a very concise episode of the podcast. We're on a very strict time schedule.
And by just discovered, it means about 10 seconds ago.
To the extent where I am going to start the stopwatch, so I know where we're at.
Parkinson's law in episodes again.
Exactly.
Like
It's going to be a masterclass in content
We're just
creation.
slowly moving round Eddie's garden as well.
Yeah, we just discussed this. If anyone ever decides to kind of burgle my house, then the first port of call for case in the joint will be these podcast episodes.
So we'll be combing through the listenership.
You got it from every angle. You got the ice bath here.
I know.
There's a TV good to go in the summer house.
Yeah, they do now.
Yeah. So what's on the agenda today then?
We're going to go through the segments. So again, as we've been through kind of a couple of times recently, the sort of marching order for these podcasts, it tends to be a semi-planned episode or a catch-up, and then some sort of work through of the segments, doesn't it?
Yeah, and obviously because we gave you so much kind of knowledge and wisdom last week, we are once again scraping the barrel here. So if you did come to be enlightened, then obviously
that's last week's episode.
That's last week's episode. So if we could just signpost you there immediately, then we're going to save about 29 minutes of your time.
Yeah, because we've only got enough bandwidth to deliver value once every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
which is good.
Because ultimately, we're not a charity. And we're not making any money from this. So,
no.
So we may as well be a charity.
A labour of love for 60 episodes. And the rest.
61 now, plus all the lifting the lids. We're flying through them. We are going to have to plan the 100th episode special. I don't know how that's going. If you've got any ideas at home, then feel free to chip in, because I haven't got any.
Yeah, we'll think of something for the 100th for sure. Probably get a guest like David Beckham on or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
someone high profile.
These are the kind of people that are kind of frequenting our DMs regularly now, because they know that we are going places.
Yeah.
Not
many people have done 100 episodes, mate. Up there with Joe Rogues.
Speaking of guest episodes, we did try and square away the audio issue this morning with limited success.
Yeah, we may have come to some sort of conclusion, but yeah, I think we're going to try a fix, and if it doesn't work, then obviously we'll move on to the next protocol, which is actually just taking a bit of the kit back to the expert.
This is shit, it does't work.
By the way, I've just thought, because this is it, do you remember when we used to play Apple baseball?
Yeah, I do.
Garden?
Yeah.
Do you want to just spin that to the listeners?
Yeah, well, I don't know how kind of incriminating this is, 12 years on. But when we weren't gaming in our youth, weekends, what we used to do is come into my back garden, but basically where we are now.
It was literally where we sat.
With a baseball and
miniature apples.
and pick the cooking apples off the apple tree and just twat them into other people's gardens.
Probably not what they were being grown for.
Definitely not, no. But
and we did hear a couple of shatters that way somewhere.
The best bit about this is we were fucking batting them towards your garden.
I know. And we probably reached it sometime. I think that's what the aim was, wasn't it? They could just swing.
Yeah, there was no hard or fast rules with apple baseball. It was very much you just kind of hit it as hard and as far as you can.
Yeah, which was great fun as a youth, but now I realise probably cost someone quite a lot of money.
And we did. What was the other game that we played that was very short-lived? Fruiting. Yeah, fruiting, as the name would suggest, involved us throwing fruit at people's houses, which didn't go well because the first house that we did target, the woman was sat in the window, which was unfortunate. So that was a...
Did she chase us down the road?
Yeah.
We were quite nippy back then, though. So.
Yeah, exactly. The speed was on our side. I probably did my hamstring now.
Outran the 50-year-old overweight woman who wasn't very pleased with blueberries getting thrown at her house.
What a waste of blueberries as well. Now.
I know.
So many antioxidants wasted there.
Yeah, exactly.
But if that's what a middle class misspent youth looks like.
So true. So that's how we spent our fucking years of 15 to whatever.
Oh,
16.
not 15. Earlier than that.
Earlier
I'd
than
like
that?
to think so. Yeah.
I hope so, yeah.
This is like year 8, isn't it? This is like 12, 13. I'd hope
mischievous.
for my own dignity.
Mischievous times. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I've forgotten about that. Actually, we got sidetracked. Right, so what's first?
First helmet of the week.
Helmet of the week.
And helmet of the week this week is stealing client wins.
Ah, right. Yes, this was actually sent in by a listener. So appreciate your input. I wasn't aware of the instance that they'd sent over, but this is becoming increasingly commonplace now. This largely happens within kind of like the transformation space within the fitness industry. So kind of like bodybuilding transformations where it's like before and after pictures, because they're quite easy to just basically screenshot and
use.
Market
Put behind you.
Put behind you as your own work effectively. So this fortunately has never happened to me because that's not kind of really the coaching that I do.
Same.
But I mean, unfortunately, but there are people out there that do that, and
it's just financially driven, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the people that are doing this ultimately aren't in the game for the love of coaching and won't last in the industry.
No, they'll make a quick buck. They're basically the people who maybe haven't got both the coaching knowledge and the business acumen to make a good coaching business work, but have a really good following. So maybe have something about them that's made them well followed, good at viral content or whatever. There's loads of things.
Something like that.
And so if they've got like 200,000 followers and don't know how to monetize them, and don't have the coaching ability to get their own testimonials behind them, then they'll just shop around and go, cool, that's a smaller creator. I'll steal his fucking things, put them behind me, make a reel, get a shitload of business from that. And obviously, the business they get through, okay, they're going to get a bit of money from that, but then they'll quickly realise that guy didn't get the original transformation, so sure as hell can't get their fucking transformation. So then they're obviously going to fall off. But the thing is, as long as they keep doing this cycle,
as long as
they'll keep okay, right?
As long as their goal remains to just make money, then they're sound.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Because their reputation will be in tatters and they won't last. But if the outcome or the objective is just to make money, then they're sweet. So they'll just keep doing it.
No, I think it obviously is. I don't know how you could very well do that. So this is funny actually, right? So talking about this, to actually have the brass neck to fucking film this reel, knowing full well this isn't your work or whatever, post it out to a big audience is crazy, right? So yesterday, I went to film a video because I was like scraping the barrel for a bit of content yesterday, and I picked Luna up, who's a dog of one of my friends, and had her in my arms and was like, I said, so I've still got my phone. I said, if you see a fat dog, you probably see a fat owner. There's a correlation. I was talking about the fact that it's not genetics, it's habit, so all that sort of stuff. I was half making the reel. I'd filmed it all, making it all. And then I was like, have I seen this?
It's James
I must
Smith,
have seen this.
It?
Yeah, and it was James Smith.
It is.
I thought this is too close.
I was going to say, it rings a bell.
So I thought I've basically, because I wasn't aware that I was copying really, but then it sort of started to flag while I was editing it. That I was basically saying the same shit. So I filmed something else and posted something else.
It's like it's sat in your subconscious for so long, you've passed it off as an original thought.
Correct.
Not forgetting.
And there's nothing wrong with using inspiration, but I felt like that was a little bit too close. And I'll show you later, but you can let me know. But basically,
I think there is a big difference between that.
No, of course.
A, because it wasn't deliberate, and B, I think kind of content is a bit different because it's not
It's not theirs.
Because every kind of piece of content really in the fitness space is a variation on a theme.
Iteration off something else.
It's an iteration off something else. But kind of like stealing a transformation, like there is only one of that individual.
True.
Like biological individuality, like that, there is only one person like that in existence. So, so by very nature, like you can't pass that off as your own because ultimately
it wasn't.
Because ultimately it wasn't. Yeah.
And thirdly, I didn't actually post it because I felt too weird about that. Is what I'm saying. So like, to go the extra mile and actually steal someone's work. And like you say, transformation is crazy. And just like I say, to have the fucking neck to post it.
I mean, the good thing about this instance is that kind of the reel that I got sent was actually the guy being called out for doing it.
I saw that. Yeah.
And like a few coaches that we follow, kind of like got involved,
highlighting
in, to put it politely, highlighting this individual's theft.
Yeah. It's all too easy to do though.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Because there's kind of because online coaching is quite a burgeoning industry now. You know, you can just kind of find a random online coach that you have no affiliation with and wouldn't ordinarily cross paths with, steal their transformations, and they could be not. I mean, like I say, it's never happened to me. It could have done.
Not even that. Like you could Google it. You could probably just Google transformations. Yeah. Get 15. Put them on your fucking story highlights. Job done. Like that. That probably happens so much.
Yeah. And like we were saying last week, because people only engage with content that they scroll past for like seconds at best.
You're not going to notice.
They're not going to have like the foresight or the hindsight or the time or the energy to actually vet this testimonial, are they, or this win? Like that, they're not that invested ultimately.
And actually, the people who are going to buy into this are probably in that much like quote unquote pain, as in, you know, they're struggling with the weight or whatever. If they see someone having a really, really strong transformation, they're probably going to be like, fucking hell, I'll go and message this guy or sign up to this guy's program straight away without actually delving much deeper because they've seen it face value. Thought, fuck it, let's trust what they've said. So I guess the lesson is to read into things a little bit more, and vet things closely. Again, like we were talking about last week.
Well, every episode comes back to the fact that you need to vet what you see online. Basically, be more mindful about what you fucking see on the internet, and ultimately don't trust bodybuilding coaches because it's not even really coaching.
No, eat less, and it's a weird industry, but we can get into that in a separate episode.
We should do a whole episode on bodybuilding and where it stands in relation to my idea of kind of coaching and what a sport is and isn't.
Yeah, we'll do a whole thing on that.
Yeah.
But we do need to move on.
Yeah, we do, because we have time pressures. That was Helmet of the Week. So, again, that was a listener that sent that in. So, if you've got anything that you think is worthy of a Helmet of the Week, please do send it in, because I am always willing to highlight charlatans on the internet. So.
Correct. Next is a toxic trait. I'm assuming you're yours.
Yeah, so this isn't even a segment, but I've just been listening to a podcast that I listen to quite a lot, which may or may not quite heavily influence this podcast at this minute in time. And they were talking about toxic traits. So I don't know if you've got one, but one of mine that sprang to mind is that I even though music is inherently subjective, I do think my music taste is far superior to most people.
Yeah. So I am also quite guilty of that. I think music is objective when it isn't. I actually had an argument with a certain individual this week, who you'll be able to notice, about the Beatles. Oh. And I was like, there's no way you can say the Beatles are shit. But obviously you can, because it's subjective, right? But
you can't. This is my point. Yeah. Like, objectively you can't, because most of the music that we know that's come since that period
influenced by them,
either directly or indirectly influenced by the Beatles. So, you know, the very nature of pop music today is a result of the music that band produced.
Correct.
So, it's a bit of a non-starter, and that is why it's not subjective, isn't it, really?
The subjective thing is if you like it or not, though, isn't it? If you listen to it and go, I don't like this, then...
I'm so bad for this, so, like, I don't know if you remember, that was it. I don't know if it happens all the time to me. This is one of the reasons why I started to get jarred out with drinking, because it happened more and more. But like I'd find myself in kind of like bars and clubs, and I'd be stood there judging the DJ's performance based on kind of like how he'd interpret the mood of the room,
How you do it different,
and how I do it differently.
Yeah.
So this happened. One example that springs to mind was in Prague, which is about a year ago now. We were in that like 50s diner, you know, where it was like a diner.
Remember, yeah.
At street level, and then in the basement was like a club.
Yeah.
I remember the DJ started out playing bangers, like kind of that fit the theme of the club initially, but then as we got later into the night and the clientele changed, he started going kind of further and further down a transgression rabbit hole. And I remember it got to the point where I could no longer enjoy being in that place. Based on the fact that now
you thought you'd do a better job.
I do a better job, and I go, no, you should have done that next.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind,
you got your Spotify up like that.
Yeah, bearing in mind, I've never actually operated a DJ deck in my life, and I wouldn't even know.
Where to start, how to turn it on.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to turn it on. But ultimately, I can still do a better job. So,
one of mine, which we'll cover briefly, is probably just people pleasing. I don't know whether that counts as a toxic trait at all, but not maybe expressing what I would want to express in what
circumstance? Just even though when you know that you're kind of in the right, and like potentially you have like the jurisdiction to be a bit pissed off, you still kind of
yeah. I just will not seek out confrontation, which I don't know if that's a bad thing or not.
I think Americans are good at that. You know, they're very amenable and friendly.
Until
as soon as you cross a line, they go like Karen.
They get the gun out.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, you're right. But like, I'll very, not commonly, but sometimes be spoken to in a way I'm probably not comfortable with, and then won't say anything about it.
Yeah, you're trying to like disarm it with kindness.
Yeah.
When really you'd actually kind of like.
I'd actually rather say something
meet
different.
Fire with fire.
Yeah. But that's probably one of mine. But yeah, I mean, I could probably think of some more. But that's a good one. We'll probably throw that in actually. If anyone can think of their own toxic traits,
let us know.
Again, send them in, because they're super individual, right? So that's quite interesting
to unpack
and talk about.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Oh, so for all the people that don't like football chat, you know, skip the next 10 minutes because this is going to be football chat. But ultimately, the Premier League season, so the Football League is already underway, and the Premier League is just about to kick off this weekend. It will have already started by the time this airs. So at the minute, it's all the speculation around kind of like who's going to do what this season. All the pundits are chipping in with kind of who's going to win the league, who's going to get top four. And ultimately, it's a fucking lottery because no one's even kicked a ball yet.
Yeah, all of that's just money, spinning money, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
all of that
but it's all these armchair fans at home that kind of basically gnaws out on pre-season.
Yeah,
and look too much. So I've never played football to a high level, right? But I am a fitness coach. I understand the purpose of pre-season in relation to periodisation, kind of across the athlete calendar. And pre-season, as far as kind of like a coach is concerned, is just to fucking get players match fit.
Yeah,
it's like if you look too much into like the result of a pre-season match, you're a hat.
Yeah, basically. People who watch like, I don't know, United lose to fucking Anderlecht or something, and they're like, oh, we're going to lose the league or whatever.
Yeah, like, did you see there was just no link-up play? Yeah, because they've just had fucking 2 weeks off, mate.
Pissing it up in Marbella.
Like, and ultimately, they're not trying to play, you know, certain patterns of play. It's
having fun.
It's a training exercise.
Ian Wright talked about it. You might have seen it on the overlap. He's like, in the pre-season, I never even tried to score. Yeah. He obviously out-and-out striker. He was like, I'll just try and get my touch right, try and get a bit sharper and all that sort of stuff. And then into the season, I start scoring, try and actually put the ball in the back of the net. But he's like, I'm not actually actively trying to. So if your like lead striker isn't bothered about scoring, and you all of a sudden you lose 1-0, like of course that's going to happen. But
it's like Wayne Rooney was saying as well. He's just always used to turn up so overweight, like for pre-season, to the extent where kind of when they'd have like the weigh-in prior to kind of. Like the first day back when you kind of like weigh yourself in to see where you're at. Like 2 days before, he'd just park himself in a steam room
on a spin bike,
and like fully just detox. Like, that is because he'd be like
he purged himself.
He'd be like a good couple of kilos overweight.
I know. Well, Matt Fraser always used to talk about this in football, but like in the CrossFit season's super fucking busy, basically. So you would end the games and then you would get the next competition would be like 2 months later or whatever. He would purposely do nothing for those 4 weeks basically, and get to the point where he felt almost like hated himself because he wasn't moving, eating the most shit ever he would ever eat. To get back to the start of the season with a new impetus, with a new level of motivation and stuff. Because if you just keep burning the candle, you're going to burn out.
It's as much psychological as it is physical.
Yeah,
it's like all the guys that were out playing the Euros until like last month or whatever. Like you don't want them coming back to pre-season like 2 weeks later, 10 days later, because they've not had a rest.
They've not had a break.
Even physically, if they've recovered, psychologically,
10 days is fuck all.
Like they're not ready.
Especially if you're going to travel somewhere and go on holiday or whatever.
Yeah, you know how congested the Premier League fixture list is these days as well. Like you've got to play the long game. Like, yeah, you can get them back after 10 days of rest and they're like shit hot in pre-season. But you know they're going to be in tatters come February, and they've not had a Christmas break, and they've played 3 games a week on average for the past like 2 months. Like that's when the injuries start piling up, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly.
Basically, have a bit of patience. Stop being so fickle, and don't look too much into your 4-1 win in pre-season over fucking Anderlecht.
Exactly.
It means fuck all.
It means nothing until you start the season. You start getting points on the board, basically, doesn't it? I had another point actually to bring up, just because I just mentioned randomly CrossFit there. But you see, so the CrossFit Games were this past week.
Oh yeah.
And
what's come of that now?
Because it was a tragedy.
I haven't read
into it.
Other than they're doing one of their mental events that's obviously
crazy,
no one with any kind of experience of programming or strength and conditioning has had any input in it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
So they've gone from a run straight into a swim, which outside of CrossFit never happens.
No.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, and not even that. Like the heat was the thing. I think the heat was the thing that fucked it, because it was in Dallas in the summer.
That's good.
Heat of summer.
Yeah.
The lake's baking in the heat all day.
Good. Yeah.
And obviously it's hot running anyway, so the body temperature's up there, and it was middle of the day. So anyway, if people don't know, there's an athlete called Lazar Dukic.
Serbian guy, right?
Yeah. Died during one of the events, which is unheard of for a CrossFit event, because there's only like 50 odd competitors or whatever. It's quite a small, relatively event.
And they're all professional athletes.
They're all professional athletes, top of the game in terms of like physical capabilities. And yeah, they had to do like a 3-mile run into 800-meter swim or some shit. And it was the first event, and he was about 100 meters away from finishing the swim. And you see the video is like pretty haunting. He's coming up and he's like back underneath. He's like scrapping basically. And there's 2 lifeguards on paddleboards about 50 meters away, just aren't seeing him somehow. Don't know what they're fucking looking at, like. but
fuck it.
They're not even 50. Yeah, and then he didn't even get reported missing until a couple of minutes after the event. You actually see a spectator dive into the water to try and like, swim around. Has anyone who's fucking noticed?
That's mad.
His brother was competing in the same event, which is absolutely savage.
That's harrowing, isn't it?
And then again, so it's actually like a crazy kind of rabbit hole, really, because CrossFit as a organisation are pretty hated by the athletes anyway, because the way they treat them, the way they pay them, the way all this kind of shit. And now, of course, that's taken to the nth degree, because one of their mates now has passed away because of their just negligence, basically.
I mean, is this now the final nail in the CrossFit coffin?
I don't know,
because it's been waning for a while, hasn't it? Really, I mean, it's still. I appreciate it's still popular in America,
States, yeah,
and
but
parts of the world,
not as popular,
and Australia, I guess, because a lot of the top CrossFit competitors are now Australian, aren't they?
Yeah,
but
I mean, something massive is going to have to shift.
Yeah, I just don't see how they can come back from this now, because you had the fucking what's the guy, the original owner called Greg Glassman. You had him; he was cancelled. Mm-hmm. That was the first nail.
They got rid of Dave Castro, who's the guy who directs the games. Then the games went to shit, and then they brought him back. He programmed this workout.
That's good.
That then
it's killed someone.
So exactly, killed.
That's a strike on your CV, isn't it?
But the thing that's interesting is the athletes, all the top athletes, all have a like group together called the PFAA or something to hold CrossFit accountable, and it was getting zero traction basically, and they were aware they were going to have to compete in Dallas in the summer. They thought, okay, heat's going to be an issue, right? So we need some information about the events ahead of time in order to know how to train relative to the heat, how to get ready, conditioned to the heat.
Yeah.
CrossFit are really bad at submitting information about the events because they want it to be all shrouded in secrecy and mystery. So they submitted this thing. This is like back in April, and they were like, "Can we find out at least how many events are outside?
Yeah.
Like what they like, what the event, what the duration, all that shit." And CrossFit are like, "Okay, all we can release right now is a much smaller percentage than last year of the events are outside than they were last year." And that's all they've released. The fact that there may be an event outside, there may not be. So the fact they just didn't tell them anything, and now this has gone and happened, is obviously fucking no good.
It's just, I mean, like,
It's a massive
I have quite
up.
strong feelings towards CrossFit anyway. But for me, this is just the fucking the last days of Rome, as far as CrossFit's concerned.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
like, I mean, like from an actual kind of as a sport or whatever, at best,
Shite.
at best, it's suboptimal. But at worst, it's actually just outright dangerous.
Yeah.
Like some of the programming CrossFit is mental, and it's no coincidence that they actually have their own recognised coaching qualifications, because actual real accredited kind of S&C qualifications would take one look at CrossFit and go, nope,
Yeah,
like, that's not happening.
It
just doesn't
map.
wash. It kind of
it's horrendous.
So yeah, I mean, like, it's tragic that guy's died, but I mean, if anything good can come of that, it's that they stop being so
reckless,
so fucking reckless and lax, basically, with safety.
No, they're gonna have to now, 100%. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was quite a current event anyway. So it happened last week. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what comes of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's annoying that it came at a time when CrossFit kind of isn't the premium kind of fitness competition in the world. Really, I mean, it brought a lot of negative publicity to CrossFit. But if it happened in kind of like the Matt Fraser era, it probably would have, like, really
changed things.
Changed things, I guess. But yeah,
it shouldn't take that, really, should it?
No, no. Again, the fact that we're having to have this conversation is mental.
It's a professional event where they do shitloads of shitloads of prep for the event, I guess.
Well, I don't know if you saw the clip of, I think it was one of the canoe slaloms at the Olympics. Like, everyone was kind of mocking how obsolete the lifeguards at the Olympics were. But one guy kind of capsized his canoe coming down the slalom at the Olympics, and mate, the lifeguard was fucking shit hot on it.
Yeah.
He was straight in there, kind of like shielding him.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, and it's like one of them. They were getting a lot of stick, and then like when they were actually needed, even if it was just one occasion in like a 2-week block.
That's all it takes.
That's it.
It would have been in this week of competition would have been one occasion, and it's so like it would have been so basic to just go in. The
fact it took someone from the crowd to recognise that he'd not resurfaced is fucking wild.
So, honestly though, one of the athletes would have seen it.
Yeah. Ooh, conspiracy.
Surely.
Jack that. Ooh,
and you're too worried about your fucking competing. The guy's drowning there. Anyway.
That's wild. Yeah, we've got sidetracked there. What have we got left?
We've only got simple pleasures left.
This is my idea of a very nice day out.
My simple pleasure this week is slow mornings. And by this I mean just not having anything basically blocked in or programmed in the first couple of hours of your day. And not worrying about waking up at fucking 5 a.m. to whatever.
You just like jerk off there.
Journal.
I thought you
know what your fucking brain is.
I just did J then, and
No.
you abruptly stopped that sentence. I didn't know whether you'd kind of
to journal or to
Freudian
fucking ice bath or whatever, and having the ability to get up and do what it is you want to do, maybe take an hour or so to fucking walk or whatever, and actually just push in your first activity a little bit later in the day so that you can have that morning to just settle. And even if that's like 10 minutes at the talk about slow mornings, it doesn't have to be hours. Could be, that 10 minutes you get by yourself, that you wake up slightly early to accommodate, that you have a cup of coffee and just sit there and think about what you've got to do. Rather than getting up and getting straight into the day, which just often doesn't work.
This is kind of like an antidote to the like hustle, bro grind mentality, isn't it? Of like sleeps for the week, I'm out making money while you're in bed, that
Yeah.
you know, normally kind of it's a David Goggins soundbite overlaid on top of like some kind of quite aggressive music with some kind of like really dark, moody, kind of like high contrast shots of a guy kind of waking up in the middle of the night to go jogging.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit that pollutes your TikTok algorithm. And at face value, again, like we were saying last week, like
Looks great.
It's enticing, but if you unpack it, actually, from a physiological perspective, it's entirely suboptimal.
Yeah. And psychologically.
Yeah.
And practically.
It's
And
in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's all well and good getting up at 5:30, but if you're not actually in a position where you have to get up at 5:30 to get stuff done.
No.
Like,
And of course, sometimes there is. It's like sometimes you do need to be up at that time, and like that's fine. But you don't have to do it every day, and you don't have to, again, just be going at 1,000,000 miles an hour all the time to yield like success and productivity. Sometimes the productive thing to do is to stop and to just.
So I'm bad at this for the whole kind of like productivity trap.
Yeah.
Caught on the fucking hamster wheel of productivity.
Yeah.
So the minute I kind of stop doing what I perceive to be productive, I immediately get a sense of guilt.
It's why it's useful probably to do it before you start anything.
Yes. And also, like, someone who's kind of self-admittedly bad at this is like a walk is a great way to start a morning because it's still a slow morning, as in like your brain isn't
straight into emails
or anything digital or anything that's going to overface it, but you're still moving.
So you still feel like you're doing something.
So you still feel like you're doing something. You're still getting your steps in. So it's a good middle ground if you're kind of a bit agitated.
Yeah.
Or a bit ADHD,
Yeah.
hyperactive when it comes to actually just doing nothing. A good gateway into that is walking, I find.
I mean, fiction reading, I can imagine, would be probably quite good as well because it's still doing something. It's some sort of stimulus, but it's not, it's not TikTok or it's not whatever. It's not actually like self-development or anything like that either.
It's just like chewing gum for the mind, isn't it?
Exactly.
But in a more productive way than watching like reality TV, which
exactly
you think is probably...
And it gets your creative muscle going or whatever.
Yeah.
And I find the best thing I always try to fucking put my phone away, but how often that happens.
So bad at that.
In the morning when I'm having these 10 minutes is the coffee and just like white space to just consider or to think or to organise things before you get into the day, because there's always going to be like busyness throughout the day and shit like that. But as soon as you've started something, it's very hard to stop. And then
just
consider.
Block out a period of time in the morning for you, basically.
That's exactly it, yeah.
And I like to fill that time with a walk. You like to fill it with a coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
So we've got
Hello.
We've got a guest, my cat, who quite evidently, first non-human guest on the podcast. Actually, no.
I know, Luna's first.
Luna's been on the podcast.
Yeah.
Stand corrected. Clearly wants feeding. Not going to get any. You've got to earn your scran round here, mate.
She's been doing the gardening. So that's us, I think.
Yeah.
For today, whistle stop tour
31 minutes
of the
Parkinson's Law of podcast, mate.
Exactly, yeah. Covered off some good things there, but I think take home points, people, are don't compete in CrossFit.
We always like to give you tangible advice on the Brummy Brothers podcast. It's one of our key pillars. So I think realistically, take home message is don't get into CrossFit because it's a dead duck.
Go do high rocks instead.
Go do high rocks because that's kind of ultimately
all the rage,
better and more popular. Don't look too much into pre-season.
Yeah,
because it means fuck all.
And vet your coaches.
Definitely vet your coaches. And once again, spend less time on TikTok mindlessly scrolling because it will pollute your brain.
Certainly in the morning.
Definitely in the morning.
Think about the start state of the day.
The worst thing you can do for your brain as soon as you wake up is flood it with content from TikTok and Instagram Reels.
Yeah. And if there's nothing else you take from this podcast, take that, because it's difficult enough for me to action that. So hopefully you can do something with it.
Again, next week, not really sure what we're doing, but you may or may not have ran a marathon.
Yes.
So we'll leave that on a cliffhanger.
We'll see. Hopefully.
I mean, hopefully, or not hopefully. I mean,
Hopefully, it's all got something to talk about.
yeah. I mean, hopefully, in that it would give us something to talk about, and then obviously not hopefully, because then you won't have had to run 26 miles. So
True. Yes, there's a give and take.
it's a cost-benefit analysis here, but as far as I'm concerned, please, we do need the material.
Exactly.
Right, let's record this intro, and then you can get off.
Exactly.
See you next week.
Yana with the thirst traps.